By the way, if you have not yet subscribed to Fitness Protection, the podcast, now available in iTunes, iHeartRadio, and anywhere podcasts can be found, do that now. Ask Away from Sunday Night dropped this morning, and a brand new episode should be available on Thursday. You know, my kids will never know the satisfaction of slamming the phone down during an angry hang-up. Hi, this is Coach MK, and this is the Morning Mantra.
Hi, my name is MK Fleming. I'm a run coach based in Denver, Colorado. But this isn't a podcast about running exactly. Don't tell my clients, but we're never really talking about the running. When you know a craptastic event is coming, it helps to have a mantra to keep you centered and focused as you move through it. You don't have to be an athlete to be #coached and loved by Coach MK. And if you are here, then you are #winning at life.
Today's mantra is further investigation required. Further investigation required. Those 3 words ripped my mental health to shreds and rocked my family to the core last month. On June 6th, I finally saw a new doctor about symptoms I'd been complaining about for well over a year. She performed a pelvic exam and said, further investigation required. No big deal though, right? Then I had an ultrasound, and they said the same thing. Further investigation required. This thing can be cancerous. We can't rule it out. Then I had an MRI, and they said it's definitely that possibly cancerous thing, but further investigation required to rule out cancer. Surgery was scheduled, then performed 10 days later. 7 days after that, the investigation was concluded when I received a call from my OBGYN relaying the pathology report. No cancer or precancerous cells detected. Cancer case closed. Yay! Except this thing, in all likelihood, is not at all causing the symptoms I've been having. Finding it, in fact, was pure luck. So I've been referred to an endocrinologist to start a new investigation. Yay! Ugh. Start to finish, this wasn't a very long investigation at all. It was painful, terrifying, excruciating, because the stakes were so high and the waiting on each step was so long. At least it felt so long to me. This investigation was scary precisely because it moves so quickly. Medicine only does that when it's serious. If only the law worked that way. Ask any person or family who's been involved in a police investigation. The wheels of justice do not move quickly, you guys. Instant justice isn't better, but cutting down on that terrible waiting time would be nice. Hello, instant medicine? On Sunday morning, I awoke to disturbing news from Los Angeles about the suicide of a beloved local doctor after being disqualified from the LA Marathon. This wasn't the first time he'd been accused of cheating. He'd been disqualified from sim in 2014, and his LA Marathon finish in 2015 had invited scrutiny. When he ran in 2019, he was being watched, and not just by race officials. I'm looking at 2 sites right now that offer reviews for his medical services. One on the site I used to verify the reputation of my amazing GP, who I'm really glad I went to. The one who launched my cancer investigation, to be exact. And one on the site I used to check out the reputation of the endocrinologist I am being referred to. The first site offers a long line of 5-star reviews from patients Dr. Meza worked with for over 35 years, followed by an onslaught of 1-star reviews calling him a marathon cheater. The other site is way smaller, more of an industry site for nurses, but it too is riddled with 1-star reviews warning that this doctor is currently under investigation. And occasionally, you'll see a response from folks who actually worked with him. What does his marathon investigation have to do with anything? Do you even know this man? This right here, this is the problem with slow public investigations. There are few mechanisms that could prevent them from turning into a Black Mirror episode. If you're a fan, I'm specifically referring to the White Bear episode. If you are not a fan, don't start with White Bear. It's about mob justice, and it's terrifying because guilt is never proved. It isn't even implied. The crime was so sick that no one cares. The people demanded to see punishment, sick punishment, the kind of punishment that fit the sick, sick crime. No one really cared about justice. They wanted punishment. And that looks a lot like what happens on the internet sometimes. Cheating is gross for sure, but there are channels for that, multiple channels. Channels I have used when my athletes were deprived of podium finishes and prize money due to cheating. Channels that got Frank disqualified in 2014 from a major marathon and threw his 2015 record into question. Those channels don't always provide justice, not the sick justice that we want to see anyway. And I get that, you guys. I really do. My rapist never saw a jail cell, while I roamed the earth in a cage for over a decade. It's not fair. It is not just. And when something is unfair, it gnaws at us. It matters. It's a big deal. Your feelings are valid. But not all actions are justified by feelings. Two wrongs will never, ever make a right. This, by all accounts, was a kind family doctor and a lifelong runner with a spotty marathon record that developed toward the end of his life for reasons that are not clear. It's also not clear why people who never knew him at all decided to trash his reputation as a doctor online. All that remains when you Google his name is the shame that emerged toward the end of his life, and if you are tenacious enough to dig in and find these sites and read the reviews written by people who truly knew Dr. Frank Meza, it is crushing that 70 years can be reduced to a few stunningly stupid mistakes in the digital age. He cheated in a marathon. He cheated in a couple of marathons. He didn't rape anyone. By all accounts, he was a very good doctor, one who took it seriously when a patient was in pain. He was never dismissive. He investigated every time. I wish my previous doctors had done that. I might not have needed surgery if they had. And that is precisely what haunts me, the people who feel justified. Every time someone demands that every cheater be exposed, it feels like I'm in that Black Mirror episode. It makes me wonder what I can and can't prove. I've been home today in my bed recovering from surgery. Can I prove that? How? It depends, I guess, on what sort of proof you're after. What is truth anyway? Which facts matter? Which crimes deserve punishment? Do we really need to publish the names and Facebook profiles of every person we think cuts corners, even when those corners are egregiously stupid? I don't have answers, you guys. All I got today is further investigation required. The next time something galls you, when you feel tempted to go after someone personally or defend someone who went after someone else personally, like leaving a 1-star review for a doctor who is under investigation without mentioning that investigation is being conducted by a blog and a race director, are you really being more honest than the person in question? It's worth thinking about. I get it, man. I was raised as an evangelical Christian. It feels good to be not just right, but righteous. Really, really good. In fact, it's more addictive than the pain pills I am no longer taking. Because that type of addiction is scary. That type of feel-good should scare you a little bit. So in those moments when you feel yourself riding a wave of righteousness, take a minute, look at yourself, explore that feeling. Ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? And then ask the Gosford Park question. That thing you want to do, what good could possibly come from it? Because that question does, in fact, matter. That's what justice is all about, the public good. It was never about the public feeling good. It's about doing good. Or at the very least, doing as little harm as possible. I know this week I'm going to make a point to leave 5-star reviews for every small business I know, work with, and like just because I can. That's one small step I can take that will definitely do some good. And I might even take a couple screenshots and send them to Dr. Meza's family and make sure that they know that at the end of his life, after a painful investigation, he did, in fact, inspire something good.
You are coached, you are loved, and you are winning at life. And you are definitely winning at life if you subscribe to my Nuzzlenut newsletter, follow me on Facebook, or follow me on Instagram. Feel free to do all three. Don't forget, if you need a mantra, you can always ask for one at info@coachedandloved.com. Again, that's email info, INFO, at coachedandloved.com.